You don't have to say this.
You can cut it out.
That's one of the bad things of this show. Cannot record with the Mesa Boogin and ask to have
Fender Deluxe.
Hi guys, this is Kris.
And this is Manos.
Welcome to the Studio Talks, the show that will take you behind the glass of the modern recording studio.
Today we are here at Thomas Studios and we're going to talk about one of the biggest misunderstandings in music production, that everything can be fixed in the mix.
Let's start. What do you think about it? I mean, did you never have the experience in studio that or some band of some artists that tell you, oh, no problem, you can fix it in the mix?
I was saying this myself, to be honest.
No.
I was one of those.
In the beginning, I hope.
Yeah.
In the beginning of your career.
In the beginning, yeah, because when you have no clue, you think that computers can do magical things. They can do many magical things, but you can't fix a bad performance. You can fake a better performance out of a bad one, but fix things in the mix, it depends what we're talking about, to be honest.
The real point is that sometimes, I guess, people is lazy. I mean, I understand the point from the perspective of the artist, of the musicians, that can be anxious when you have to play in front of somebody else in a room that is not his room. But sometimes you're lazy because if you say, yeah, you can fix it later during the editing, during the mix, is the worst way to approach.
Hasn't it happened to you that you were so frustrated with a musician that you said, I will fix it in the mix?
Always.
Yes, of course you say that, because you don't always have like the best performers, and rent is waiting at the end of the month, and you know you have to finish the job, right?
I personally think that there are two different layers, okay?
Yeah, okay.
There is one that is the hypothetical one, the ideal layers, ideal layers, and one that is the practical one.
Okay.
In my mind, there is the perfect situation where I have a musician that's already know perfect what you have to play, and he know how to play his instrument, and he
so
make
you can do your job properly
and make the great performance, and I only have to take care about the production, about the sound, about the artistical decision in this part of the things. The practical one is when people want to record something, and basically they want to record something that they unfortunately are not already ready to do. Because somebody thinks, okay, I wrote a song, everything is fine, okay, let's go in the recording studio, let's do it, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, we're both musicians, right?
So we did. I mean, I did also, and because I did, now I know that it's not the real point, and I try to explain every time to the guys that work with me that it's better to spend more time in that part of the process and play better. And you will have a better sound in your recording.
By experience, talking by experience, of course.
I had the chance to work with really great musicians in the past years, and every time they send me, because I do basically remote mixing, so I rarely recording people, but when they send me really great played tracks, the sound of the album, it came outside itself. I really have only to add some taste. But it is because they played the part in the best way.
The best way they could perceive as people, as musicians, because not always you perceive a good performance as your best or as the best possible because you haven't doubted yourself yet as a musician. It has happened to me in the past. For example, as I said, I started doing this out of necessity because I went to record myself. And I recently found a CD with some songs I wrote back in the year 2005 or something like that. Back then, for me, they were like, I don't see any difference with this band or that band. And now I hear them, I listen back to them, both the production and the composition. I say, what? was I doing? Like, how could I think that this is a good idea or a good song? Sporadical, good, nice things, but I didn't have the knowledge yet to understand that it should be better. So you want a good musician, yes, but how can you help this guy understand that he can do better? Maybe he can't do better. So in that case, somehow you need to help him with technology.
Of course, but that's totally clear. The point is that you don't have to. I'm not looking for a machine that play the music. I mean, I'm not looking for a robot.
Yeah,
because the feeling is important. I'm looking for example, if I have a punk rock song, okay, I don't want the perfection in the timing. Try to imagine a Ramon song with the tight perfection in the grid of the timing.
Yeah, that would sound
you
so
lose
weird.
everything. You have to do it in the best way of what are you doing. That's the point. And the idea, the concept behind the idea to fix later in the mix is just a way to postpone the problem and avoid that moment the problem. You just say later, or maybe you will say, and this is Rose, I guess, I can do it, I can't do it. You can fix it.
You can fix it, yeah.
And this is not, if I can do it, I guess, and that's my idea, it's better that I do something simpler. I play a simple part. More simple of what I did,
If you manage to convince them to do. I did something in a couple of productions I worked on. It was easier for me to replay the part than either to teach the guy to play it.
You don't have to say this.
You can cut it out.
This is a secret.
I'm not saying. I mean, it happened. Like it's not a secret. People do it because it's easier to play it yourself if you are a musician and you can do it, of course, than to teach the musician how to play it or edit it.
Editing is another things. But do you know if in some famous album, you know any story, any legend about it?
I guess there's stuff. We have like musicians that have played in albums, but they're not part of the band. Like things in the 60s, that this was like happening all the time.
That's a different thing.
Resident bands, yeah, but they were better musicians anyway.
I was talking about play, and then later came another musician do this part better than the other.
Back in Greece, I recorded a very famous singer. Female singer. I'm not gonna tell her name.
No.
It was about a guy's debut album, and she was a guest in a song, but she's very old. She was already very old 10 years ago, and we had to rejuvenate her. Rejuvenate, is this a word? Like make her sound younger. Mm-hmm. Back then, they were very hyped. Those Antares plugins that they can like reshape the throat. It was a very weird plugin, and you could reshape the throat and make the singer sound like a bit different. So like we spent the week figuring out how to make her sound how she sounded like 20 years ago or 30 years ago before that. It worked. It worked.
And she was happy.
Yeah, she was happy. She didn't know. That's a very good example of we fix it in the mix, because she couldn't do it anymore. Well,
the point is sometimes you need to edit something to fix the sound in some way, and that's why most of the time we ask, for example, for DI, for guitar and bass, because the tone you record, all we did, it could be amazing, but who knows if later in the mix process you understand that you need something more, you need to add something, or for some reason you change the path and you decide to have a different sound and you need to record again the guitar. So that's the way, and that's the moment when you fix later in the mix. But
we need to say that Kris has a very valid point, but we're talking about music on the most extreme journeys where you need a better tonal control. If you're recording an indie band, maybe you will ask a DI for like safety, but most of the times an indie band has already like a shape.
Okay, that's one
Of
of
the
the best
sound.
things of this show.
Journey.
My point of view is from my point of view, and
Yeah.
I basically work as mix engineer, as mix and master engineer. I work only with rock and metal band. I talk about things that I know. So
Yeah, of course.
rock, metal,
No, it
stuff
was
like that.
just-
But of course, it's not only.
Yeah, sometimes I don't disagree in the complete control. So you're like you're acting both as a producer and a mixing engineer. So you want to make sure that you have the best possible sound for the album to sound as good as possible. But some genres have so much weight on the overall sound of the whole band that you can't separate one element, reamp it, and put it back in, because it's like indie bands, as I mentioned earlier. They have this quirk of being like, that's how I hear this kind of music as well. Like it's like a ball of colors. They're all together. When I listen to metal, which I mostly also listen to metal.
Okay, it's a different approach, of
Yeah,
course.
I hear like a flat surface. Metal for me is a flat surface, and everything is on this flat surface. That's how I see them. And if I can distinguish them, I'm happy. This is a good mix because I can distinguish them.
Yeah.
And indie is like a ball of colors, which is equally cool to look at, but it's another thing.
Yeah, but for example, and I'm curious about it also because yes, I like to work with the artist of that kind of genre because I know that genre and I like it and I like to work on that. But I'm always so curious about how is work with different things because I know that that everything could be totally different. Let's talk about guitars.
Oh, yeah.
You can have some kind of guitar sound and guitar player like okay, that's not indie, but I think the age U2 where they use a different sound from in any song. There is the totally different way to use the guitar from metal and rock that I know.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a DI in any way? Because you can also decide to make an experiment with the sound later. So it could also it could be also a good thing to have the DI and make an experimentation of the sound later. No?
Yeah, definitely on the altar of experimentation.
I mean, I would ask also for in that situation. I understand what you mean, but I still see the necessity of the kind of things to have the chance to change later.
Recently, a friend of mine who is mixing a garage album or something like that, he got a DI of the bass, but the bass had all the effects in the DI, which stay because these are the effects of the bassist, okay? Octave, chorus.
In that way, I will ask for a double.
Yeah.
One clean
So
and one effect.
that's what I'm saying. So like an indie guitar player who is like playing with his play reverb delay.
That is technically not a DI.
Yeah, it's not. It's not how you mean it in a sense that you want like a very controlled, distorted guitar. The guy who's like playing with his slapback delay in the song to kaka, something like that. He wants that in his signal, so that's a part of his creative thingy. That DI, it's a useless DI almost. Yes, you can experiment, but doesn't matter if it's going through a cabinet or not. The delay is always there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But let me ask you something else. Okay, we talked about guitars extensively. I mean, I guess you understood that the debate is huge. DI, not DI. Anyway, performance, it's regardless how you are doing it. If a performance is good, most probably it's gonna sound good in the song.
True.
Preferably, if we for specific genres, if we have a DI, we can make it work even better. Okay, or both, like amp and DI. Typical situation in the studio to record both signals. But let me ask you one thing. Now, what can we fix in the mix? What is some stuff that nowadays, 2026, the era of modern recording studio, some stuff you do them in the mix. They're like after the recording phase. You are alone at your place. Some things you have to fix them. It's impossible to not fix some things nowadays. Like, what would it be?
Oh, well, we are, from my point of view, if you want to know what I think, of course, all the what I think it must be fixed in the mix is all the frequencies you have for each instrument, that it's not properly of that instrument, because the sound for me, this is my, I see the sound like a box, okay, especially when you do a records, it's a box. The box is not infinity, okay, the space that you have is not infinity.
Okay.
So you have to you have to make the space for everything, and everything must be inside,
its proper place.
fit the box.
Stuff is bigger, but the box is like this, so you have to cut pieces.
So
And
what we have to fix in the mix? I mean, if you listen any kind of instrument, it potentially have all the frequencies the human ears can hear, okay? But when you are going to mix, the point is to have that kind of frequency that came from the bass guitar, that don't have to fight with the frequency that came from the guitars, from the kick, and then you have to and that is the things that you have to fix later, because you can have a wonderful kick sound, but you have to fix the kick sound
to fit in
and to have to speak well and not fight with the other instrument. That's what I would like to fix in the mix.
Okay.
Then, of course, later you can have some the necessity to fix, for example, some little things about the grid. It depends of the genre, because I guess there are some music that don't need to the editing, that the perfect grid editing to be tight in the grid, and some that need it. For example, in the modern hard music, heavy music, everything is, I guess, over edit at the moment. I miss a little bit the feeling of the past, where there was, and you see in the if you see things about the drummers from the 80s till now, the big drum, the best drummer in the 80s wasn't tight like that young guys that play now, that sounds more tight than the drum machine.
You're talking about specifically like mixing, like the actual thing. Like for you, what you're saying is fixing is like fix the things in a way that they fit inside this box. What I meant is like fix the performance or fix the singer. So you talked a bit about timing, but so you don't do time alignment and stuff like that. You prefer the recordings as raw as possible.
Yes, always, of course. But for the performance and for it's the same, because when everything is clear and you have a kind of production that is really clear, maybe you need, because you listen much more that kind of problem that not always are a problem. Yeah. Because sometimes
sometimes aligning it creates a
the
problem.
point is not to become obsessed by these things, because perfect let's talk about vocals. The perfect intonation, like an AI in the modern day can give you, it's too perfect for a human. I mean, I guess...
Yeah, in the era of AI, having perfect vocals in your original song, it's kind of like, it's like, maybe we should like go the other way, try to be less perfect, because AI can be so perfect.
We don't need to be less perfect, because...
more human, less perfect.
Like, a human, the best singer, there will be some scent outside, you know?
Sure.
That's the human part.
Not the flat line, melodyne flat line.
Anyway, what I can tell you is not what I will fix in the mix, but what I cannot fix in the mix.
What can't you fix in the mix?
What do you think? The source you cannot fix in the mix.
The what?
The source of the sound.
The source of the sound. Now, if you have like a badly recorded...
Not only that, the decisions you make during the recording session. Anyway, don't talk about the eye, but you decide to recording with a particular sound, with that ampli, with that speaker.
You are used to your line 6 spider.
You cannot change it. You cannot record with a Mesa Boogin and ask to have I don't know,
Fender Deluxe.
a Fender Deluxe sound later. You know, that's you cannot fix. You
Yeah.
cannot record with the drums. That is, you cannot fix. You cannot fix the drums tuning in some sort of way if you want to use the mic. Let's say you don't use to replace the tracks.
No, you can't change the tuning though without replacing the track. You don't pitch them. You don't have to pitch them. You can't change the tuning though. We will talk about this in our plugins episode, so stay tuned.
I mean, it's always better to be ready and have everything fixed. And it's not about the gear, because you can do a great performance with a poor gear instead of have a super great, super testosterone sound card, microphone, guitars, drums.
The gear wouldn't make the performance for sure.
No, it's the hand.
Yeah.
Like we say, like they say in my, when I was young in my town, they used to say, you cannot buy the hand.
Yeah, yeah.
You cannot buy the hand.
You said you work mostly remotely, right? Like, do you have like some sort of meetings, and you like, do you have a list of practices to apply during the recordings?
Usually they ask me suggestion about the recording stuff before they start. A lot of guys ask me, what do you want? I say, guys, let's do it in this way. For example, with the drums, I like to have the rooms recorded in a particular way, and ask them to do it. I prepare most of the time I prepare the tempo tracks and send them, so yeah, they ask before. Not always. A lot of time they arrive with the material and I do with.
You do what we can do best.
Because I understand that it's really, really difficult things. You don't know it. You don't know anything about this stuff. So you can be a good musician, but you cannot be. This doesn't mean that you know how it's work for the recording.
With this question, I want to like take us into the artist training situation, like both on the technical side and both on the performance side. Like you have as I said before, like a musician might not know like that he should do better because he hasn't asked the question to himself if he could actually do better, in the sense that for him, this is how I played like this through my line 6 Spider, and this is the best thing ever.
Well, I guess this happens when the musician is still when the musician doesn't have enough experience. I mean, first time you record, you are in the way. Second, you are better. Third, you are better. And at a certain point, you know how to move, what to do. And I guess you know better than me because you do much more recording session than me, that I only mix.
I prefer a musician who is like willing to listen. Like I would say it differently. In my experience, because I was like being a musician myself, I was trying to like accept what I was given to work with, accept everything how it was. Like a musician comes and says, "This is my song. This is how I play it," and I said, "Okay, this is your song. This is how you play it. Here's the result." But then this musician side of myself was always telling me, this should be this way, this should be that way. Why aren't you telling anything? Like, why don't you help the song somehow like become not better, because I'm not doing things better, but my brain sometimes listens to something and say, this song really needs that thing. And I learned to tell this at some point after years to the musicians, like, okay, we can work together, but I will put my hands on your songs like 100%.
Because you're not only you're a producer, arranger.
Yeah, actually,
and
yes.
That's the work.
And that's why I like
sometimes you need
recordings. Yeah. That's why I like recordings more, because the bands who like accepted this fate.
And what do you do when the band say, no, I don't want this suggestion?
Most of the times,
you quit the collaboration. Or
no, most of the times, I just make them do a live recording when they don't want to go through this.
Oh, okay.
Like make a live recording, I can mix a live recording, and then you go. Without like snobbing them, I'm just saying that because most of the times when they don't want such a thing is what they want what they play in the rehearsal room. So this is also another trick that I kind of learned by my experience. Like bring them in once, make them play live, record them, and play it back to them, so they can listen what they do and what they could do. If they play like let's say thrash metal, and they are like one is in one room and the other one is in the other room, as we say in Greek, in the sense that they're not playing in the same room mentally or BPM wise. They listen back and you make them understand that this is not what you want, right? You're not together. So we need to work somehow and bring all this thing that you're doing, bring it together, make a song out of it. And then we go record separately, train the drummer, train the singer, the guitar player. The guitar player comes in, and then I tell him, let's make harmonies, and say, harmonies, what do you mean? Harmonies, let's harmonize this part. Do this here, do this. Instead of doing this scale, do that scale. Like literally building songs in the control room while recording. And this is, I love this.
It's a big job. It's a lot of hours.
A lot of hours
working like that.
But it's super satisfactory for me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like they did in the past. Of course, it's cool. But in the modern era, it's difficult to work like that. I mean, you need. I mean, I don't talk about money, but you need a lot of time, and we don't have. People don't have. Most of the musicians sometimes need to manage the time. I mean, it could be fantastic for me to work with a band like that, but cool.
Honestly,
and you answer about the question I was thinking in mind anyway. What you fix during the recording session and not in the mix, and you already answer.
I try fix it in the recording.
Yeah, but because arrangement, it's important. I mean, sometimes you say you want to sometimes you in general. I mean, you want to play 100 guitars on a song. Okay, you will have problem during the mix. And
Carnivore do that.
Yeah, you can say, yeah, you can fix later in the mix, but the only way to fix it is to delete some 98 guitars and decide which are the good ones.
When I write my own music, as I said to a friend, like I mix while I write the song, because like I kind of hear that it needs something, so I just write it in, either play it or program it. And then that's how I hear the song being mixed while I am composing it. So I almost never wrote the song, recorded the song, and then mixed it.
Yeah, but when you work with the song of somebody else that is not you, it's different.
Yeah, no, I said I just took this experience and I transformed it into this thing for myself.
My approach is to try to be an interpreter of the vision of another guy. Mm. I just recently, I'm working with a particular doom death metal band. They have this vision. They want this kind of things that was pretty new for me. Also, if it's a really underground genre, it's pretty new for me. They explained me it, and the very funny things for me was to translate their vision in the sound.
In the box.
Yeah.
In that box we were talking about.
It was amazing, and I'm pretty happy of this album, and I'm really proud of it.
Good.
I'm really proud of it.
That's a rare thing for an engineer to say. I'm proud for this mix. Because
there are a couple of albums I did that I'm proud of them.
Yeah. A question for you, because you come from the heavy music mixing background, producing background. Yeah. So, when you receive material, okay, what immediately tells you this is gonna be a great album? Like what really talks to you
after the game staging? Before the game staging, after the game staging, I listen for the first time, and if it's working, and it's happened sometimes that I say, and it already sounds like an album, and they say this is a good material, and this happened after the game
but what does
staging.
it have? What do those tracks have that make them a good material?
I don't know. I can literally say it's something magical. They work together. I don't know. They work together. There is nothing more to say.
Good performances.
good
timed,
performance, good sound. That good. So when I say good sound, I don't say amazing sound. I say it's good sound. It's ANSI. Sorry, personal sound.
all right, yeah, cool.
Personal sound.
Like meticulously dialed amplifiers for the.
I never stopped the last album that I did with the American thrash metal band Mind Wars. Mike sent me his guitar sound with his head, his amplifier, and it's just work in that album. I didn't need to do anything.
We're talking
That
about
was
experienced people.
that
also
was
like
the that was the sound, and it was his sound. I mean, if I had the DI of that, and I had also the DI, but I didn't use it. If I had only the DI, I made a different sound. That
Huh?
is. I can explain in a different way. And for you?
Drums always catch my interest. Like I really want. Then it depends on the style. I did that band called. I don't remember. They were under the Stoner, let's say, hood, and they had a really good room where they recorded it. It was a studio. They had a really good room, so I was and it really caught my attention immediately. I said, I did a rough mix with drums, some leveling. I said, this is gonna be a nice album, a great album, and indeed, I was really happy.
After the game staging.
I did like this rough mix, and I was like really happy. I did my thing again. I put keyboards. They don't have a keyboard player, so I put keyboards in the album. They kept them.
So this means that if you work with him, he will put something in your album.
I have to put something in your songs.
We have only some instruments.
No way. If I hear it, I have to put it in. But well, it doesn't have to stay. I'm not like, I put this synthesizer here and this synthesizer need to stay. No, that's what I'm saying. But I have a motto. Let's do it. Let's push like past the line.
Of course, because we
can always come back.
But because I think that, and this is very important, and when you find people that work with you and they appreciate these things from you, they will have something more in their song. Because the idea of somebody that is not involved in songwriting in the band and can listen the global portrait of the song, not only is totally different, and this can help a lot. Most of the time, I was a bass player in a band, and I listened to my song only from the bass perspective.
Yeah.
If I am a drum, I listen only from the drum perspective. And nobody, not always. I mean, sometimes nobody listens to the song from the.
They see the tree, they don't see the forest.
Yeah. And so when you meet somebody that help you listen, you listen something that maybe perhaps they have in mind, but they forgot it.
The mixing engineer is like the outsider practically. It's a guy in Greece. He used to say the final orchestrator. He used to call the mixing engineer.
But the real question is, since you record also, what do you think cannot be fixed later in the mix?
Something that needs to be recorded, and that's it.
Or
like
something that if it's wrong, it's wrong, and you think it's wrong,
and it stays wrong forever. What I can't fix is like when I have a really bad vocal performance. Like it can be out of tune and out of sync. I can fix the tune, I can fix the sync, but
the feeling.
But the feeling, yeah. If you have a bad performance, especially on the vocals, and if you're so unlucky that it's like a song around the vocals and you can't fix that, it's like that's the worst thing that has happened to me.
That's true. That's totally true. I was thinking more about, for example, most of the people thinks that for improve the sound they need a better microphone. For example, let's talk about vocals.
Class.
So I don't know. They bought some Neumann TLM microphone, super expensive, super fancy microphone fantastic microphone, of course.
Yes.
Amazing one.
What do we do with it now?
But then they recorded in a bad room. So the microphone that is a good one, it's a better one, will take not only a better sound of the voice, but we also taking
capture of the bad room.
No, I mean, it's important because nobody tell this to the people. That before you buy super expensive, a really professional gear, you need to have everything it must be. It's like bricks. One bricks on another bricks, you make the wall. So you cannot put the last bricks if you don't have the other one. So before you go with a very, very good gears, you should have all the other things, and then you will not have the problem to fix something later because you make a bad recording, and so you say, okay, well you can fix it. There is too much reverb in that room. Don't worry, the mix engineer will fix it.
The reverb or something.
If you have 1,000 euro, you prefer to spend because you should. I'm asking you about from the producer.
Yeah,
it's better to spend in gear like guitars of amplifier, or drums, or bass, of trumpet, or I don't know, or in recording gear like microphone, preamps, stuff like that.
Me personally,
what do you think?
To be honest, what do I think? Like, depends on the necessity. Personally, I buy instruments. Like,
because you are talking like a guitar player now.
Like a musician. Like, my ideal situation is.
Okay, let's say in this way. There is a budget for this album. I am the artist, and we have a budget. Okay, we have to recording a guitar for this. Okay, and then say, okay, for the guitar I have this budget. My budget is X. It's better to spend this budget in recording gear or in instruments for have a good result and don't have to have a good mix. To have a good mix.
I will give you a practical reply that actually happened when I collaborate with the band. One of the first things that I ask them is like, show me your instruments, bring me your instrument. I want to see what you have. And since I make the recording, I can choose the recording location most of the times, choose the drums, which for me the drums are very important. So I would choose a studio that has like plenty of drum sets so we can mix and we can make like a custom kit. But sometimes the drummer has a very special drum set and we could use it. So one of the first things to ask to a band is, show me your gear, show me what you have. And if they have good instruments, then I tell them, okay, this needs a setup like this needs a setup like that, choose these strings, take them to this guy, fix your electronics. So if we can work with what we have, so we use the budget for studio time, for example. It happened that I was recording a black metal album, and I told the bassist, he came to record, and his strings were so old. And I told him, look, man, you need to change your strings. Okay, I did this was, I think, the experience that made me ask the musicians to show me their instruments. After this experience, because the guy came and all his strings were so old. He had a 5-string Warwick bass, and I sent him to have make a setup. Let's meet next week. And this happened. Actually, he left. We were supposed to meet like 1 week later. He calls me a couple of days before, and he tells me, "Look, Manos, I'm not using the lowest string in the album. Can I change only the other 4?" Well, I was very colorful in my wording.
Yeah, because the bass strings are expensive. I must tell you.
Yes, but I told him, no, whatever his name was, change all of them. And he did. But yeah, this goes hand in hand with the live recording I was talking earlier. Like, bring your gear, let me see it, play live, so you see how you actually sound. Because when you're like in your control room, in your rehearsal room, you just play and everything's fine. So then after this, maybe we decide where to allocate the budget. But most of the times it goes on the recording place. For example, bands love it. Take them outside the city. We used to go like in my hometown, home village actually. It doesn't even have like 1,000 inhabitants. We would record in an abandoned music hall. It's so big, it doesn't exist anymore. It belonged to my grandfather. And I made 2 or 3 albums in there. And it was an experience that they all remember until now, like 10, 15 years later. We
Great.
still text each other about that. But if I have like a good singer, it happened that to work with a good singer, and he wants to record at home on his own, her own, I would suggest a good microphone and a good preamp if they are willing to make the investment. This matters a lot because it gives them also the possibility to develop further in the future and to have already the good tools to actually show off their talent as musicians, maybe collaborating with others and already giving them good material, not only performance-wise but also quality-wise.
Yes.
And it has helped a lot of them, especially musicians, especially singers.
And you already told me what I was thinking about how do you say to the people that something is bad without destroying their confidence. You already explained me that you got to the point.
No, not actually. I mean,
I joke.
In the studio, someone has to be the boss. Someone has to guide the situation. Again,
Yeah,
it is
to
good,
lead it.
but it's always good to let the musician, of course, express herself, and then it's a matter of it's a synergy, and then ask them to try something else. You keep like you did this, let's try that. Like let's go past the line, as I said earlier. Let's go past the line because we can always go back. It doesn't matter. I mean, maybe I guess I have an idea for your song. Let's do it, but we don't have to keep it because
if we don't like, we can.
I might not like it but I didn't hear it yet. I hear it in my head, so let's do it. And many musicians agree on that because how you serve it to them, it's like on the altar of creativity. Let's do something different. Yes, this is good, but let's try something else. And many musicians accept it and they like it. I have a very good example of a Greek band called Leftover Bullets. At some point, there was such a good synergy that we were like I was completing his solos. I even played a couple of solos in the album. He was playing a solo, I was playing the wah. And we did stuff like that. And it was like so much fun because we found this golden point where we met creatively and we made an album that as an experience, that album is like top tier. So we're closing this episodes with Kris
and Manos.
And I think the knowledge to take away from this conversation is that give your best performance if you care about your music.
And if you are not sure about what you did, try again.
Try again. Yeah, try again. And trust your producer and engineer. I mean,
always.
If their chair has armrests, they know something better. Good. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to hear more of us, and we'll see you next time.